implications of castration, it is essential to point out here that through a deficiency in the Tibetan language, there is no clear difference between castration and sterilization, and that the word used to indicate sterilization is not applicable to the gelding of horses, a process with which they are familiar, whereas they are not familiar with this process or any comparable process as applied to human beings. The Chinese told the Tibetans that they were dull and that they should have better blood in them. Their race was inferior and like animals, and a better race would be produced by giving injections. At this time, a number of Chinese men from Yunnan and Yupei came to the district and were given land there. Only 3 arrived in this village. Men between the ages of 50 and 30 were taken for treatment. A friend, aged 27, underwent treatment and gave an account to the witness. This friend told him never to repeat the story, and it was necessary for the interpreter to explain to the witness that it was perfectly alright for him to tell it now. First of all, a blood specimen was taken. The hand of the urethra was then opened and inspected by the light of a torch. Then, a long instrument, like a needle, was inserted into the urethra, turned around, and the peasant said that he heard a slight noise as the instrument was turned round. Afterwards, he was injected once on each side of the groin and once in the buttock. After the injection in the groin, he lost consciousness. He was to receive 10 daily injections and was still receiving these when the witness left Rigaud. The persons treated were told not to say anything except that they had received injections, and that if they were to say the nerve had been cut, they would be put to death. He told him that he now found it impossible to have an erection, and that the witness had better leave before it happened to him. He was married with 2 children, both apparently healthy, a son aged 5 and a daughter aged 3 at that time, in 1956. In November 1956, his wife was called for treatment. Women between the ages of 15 and 40 were to be called in this way. On her return, his wife was crying. He described what happened as follows. Some kind of bladder was inserted inside the vagina and inflated. When it was pulled out, the vagina remained open. Then it was possible to see inside, and according to his wife, a small piece of flesh was cut out. His wife bled, but he could not say whether freely or slightly. His wife remained conscious, but suffered great pain and almost lapsed into unconsciousness from time to time. He remained with his wife until he left Rigaud in 1958. His wife had previously menstruated regularly, but ceased to menstruate after this treatment. They had 3 children, the youngest being 4 at